The 2019 A24 film Waves, directed by Trey Edward Shults, captures the zeitgeist of contemporary youth culture, particularly that of Generation Z, also referred to as Gen Z. The film addresses societal expectations, the pressure to succeed, and the challenges of navigating relationships in a rapidly changing world, and uses these themes to reflect the characteristics of Gen Z. Gen Z can be defined as children born from 1996 to 2009, according to XYZ University, but Stanford University described that a Gen Zer can also be described as a self-driver who deeply cares about others, strives for a diverse community, is highly collaborative, values flexibility, relevance, authenticity, and non-hierarchical leadership. The film provides a lens through which to examine broader societal issues that affect Gen Z. Issues and shifts such as pressure from peers via social media and freedom of human rights. The film introduces these messages using the soundtrack. Music is played in both a diegetic and non-diegetic space, which exaggerates the characters' emotions and decisions. Waves is split into two distinct halves, each with its own narrative focus and emotional tone. The first half follows Tyler's perspective, who is played by Kelvin Harrison Jr. Tyler is a high school student, a wrestler, and a son carrying the weight of immense expectations from his father. This half is marked by a sense of pressure, urgency, and an impending crisis. It explores themes of high school romance, familial expectations, and the impact of societal pressures on an individual's mental and emotional well-being. The soundtrack in this half contributes to the intensity. Here's the list of every song played throughout Tyler's story. Songs like Backseat Freestyle by Kendrick Lamar and I Am a God by Kanye West have hard-hitting drums and aggressive lyrics that reflect the overall tone of his narrative. When Tyler finds out his girlfriend, Alexis Lopez, played by Alexa Demi, decides to keep their baby, we can see Tyler's will break and his gradual descent into chaos, reaching the beginning of the climax of his story. The music playing behind the scenes is directly correlated with the meaning and emotions of anger and anxiety throughout the film. The scene starts off with Focus by her, and eventually changes to I Effing Hate You by Tyler the Creator. The tonality of each song correlates to Tyler's emotions. Tyler starts off calm and relaxed, then makes a sudden switch to anger and hatred. The sudden emergence of mayhem and shift in the tone of the music choices reflect how this film represents a soundtrack to the diverse emotions of Gen Z. Referring to the work of Stanford University, Gen Z is familiar with fast-paced environments due to growing up with technological advances such as the smartphone. These fast-paced environments can create stress and anxiety, a common emotion among Gen Zers. Tyler's story eventually concludes when he is sentenced to jail for life on account of the second-degree murder of his girlfriend Alexa. The fight starts off after Tyler confronts Alexa about her decision to keep their baby. During the climax of Tyler's story, the scene has no music or sound in the background. This is the first time in the film that there is no sound accompanying the characters. The silence creates suspense within the build-up. In the Essay 3 of the film, Sound, Bella Balisis advocates for the intense feeling of silence. There are thousands of different sounds and voices, but the substance of silence appears one and the same for all. Though sound might be informative and music moving, the importance of silence is that it is familiar to everyone. The music played throughout the film allows the viewer to connect to the film using previous memories and knowledge of the songs played. But when there is silence, it is not just an individual connection. The audience is now brought together with a collective consciousness to engage with the emotions of the characters.
And the drinks aren't for me, they're for my friends, the ones upstairs that you never took the chance to get to know. You don't care about anyone but your fucking lying. That's why I
care about nobody but my fucking self right now. Fucking walk away from me. Listen.
Move!
Yeah, we can keep it, Alexis. Alexis, let's look at me. Look at me. We can fucking keep it. We don't have to get a fucking abortion.
Fuck you! You think I'm gonna raise my baby with you? Look at you!
What you mean, look at me? I'm here for you, bitch. I'm fucking here. I'm fucking stupid ass. Stupid ass bitch. Fucking walking away from me. You go to the fucking abortion clinic. You give me shit for all that shit.
When Tyler's story concludes, we are brought to the second part of the film, switching the perspective to his sister, Emily, portrayed by Taylor Russell. Emily's narrative is more contemplative, introspective, and slower paced. It delves into the themes of forgiveness, healing, and rebuilding as she navigates her own path of self-discovery and understanding. The soundtrack in this half reflects a shift in mood from Tyler's story. The new tone of the film is slower paced and peaceful, which is reflected in the soundtrack. While her family is in grief, Emily finds someone to rebuild with. Luke, performed by Lucas Hedges, who is a boy from school who awkwardly asks Emily on a date a couple months after Tyler's tragedy. Luke was also on the wrestling team, but unaware of the impact of her brother's arrest on her. The beginning of the second half's plot starts as a teenage love story. The development of characters is displayed through joyful date nights and euphoric memories. Similar to the first half of the film, music accompanies these moments to heighten the intensity of the shared compassion. The soundtrack helps provide a more feminine tone, contradicting the tone of the first half. The blissful sounds and comforting lyrics help portray this analysis. Music is a bonding experience between the couple.
Here, check the wait for this part. This shit's fire. This is fire. Give it a second.
According to a study conducted in 2019 by Joshua Whittinghill, music can be instrumental to mood control, regulating emotions, social acceptance, validation, and development of self-identity, as well as cognitive learning. This research found in the study directly correlates to Shults' intention for the film. In an interview, Shults said, "The music is so embedded in the whole thing and works diegetically. This means the use of music throughout the film allows the audience to connect with the film because music is a medium to express emotion." Shults goes on to state,
"Felt honest to Ty and Emily, and also it's so much of the ebb and flow of the movie, and then if you separate it and put it in a playlist, a story hopefully feels like is being told from track to track."
The compelling soundtrack creates its own parallel narrative, which embodies the emotions of feeling at a loss but then finding hope through someone else. The music within the soundtrack includes a variety of songs that are popular with Gen Z. This is established by popularity of these songs on social media platforms and their relevance on the Billboard Top 200. Artists such as SZA, Kendrick Lamar, Frank Ocean, Tame Impala, and Animal Collective have all been on the Billboard charts numerous times. In summary, Shults' inclusion of having a popular soundtrack not only narrates a film, but the collection of songs can be a soundtrack to someone's daily life, and the popularity of these songs comes from a Gen Z audience, based on the recent release dates of these songs. Emily's story concludes after she and Luke went to visit his father in Missouri. Luke hasn't had a relationship with his father due to his alcoholism and the way he treated Luke's mother. But when Luke was told that his father was about to pass away from cancer, Luke and Emily decided to take a road trip to say goodbye before his passing. On the road trip to Missouri, Frank Ocean's Sig Freud from the album Blonde accompanies the car ride. Frank Ocean and his music are significant to the storytelling and the ultimate structure of the film. Blonde, one of Shults' favorite albums, is split into two halves similar to the film. The first half of the film is perceived as masculine, and the second half is considered more feminine, mirroring the format of the film. Blonde focuses on themes such as love, self-discovery, and loneliness, all themes that are prevalent in the film. This choice by Shults to incorporate multiple Frank Ocean songs in the format in two halves reiterates the themes of the album and the correlation between the two. The importance of Blonde not only correlates to the film, but to the entirety of Gen Z. Blonde has been on the Billboard 200 charts for 2 straight years and peaked as the #1 album upon its release in 2016. The popularity of Frank Ocean and Shults' decision to include 5 of his songs really allows the audience to connect to the film on a personal level. Overall, the soundtrack creates a narrative for the viewer themselves, with themes that are familiar to Gen Z.